Python in 7 days. I am Sabyasachi, faculty at Pixeltests. We are a community of over 1,050 people where we build AI and Web3 professionals. Thank you so much for joining in. If you are joining us on our social channels, I would request you to use the chat feature for interacting with us. In this session, we are going to teach you the basics of Python, and this whole 7-day module is a gift from Pixeltest. It is free. Only thing that we would require is your consistently coming up day in day out and learn every day half an hour each a little bit more of Python. So let's begin. And if you are able to see me clearly and hear me clearly, type A in the chat box. Thanks, Prashant. Thanks, Praji. Thanks, Sujit. That's great. Okay, so the mode of learning in all of our sessions would be learning by exercise. We will be sharing with you a link where all of our sessions would. Yeah, I would request people who are watching us on YouTube to mute their site if you're also joining us from Zoom, right? So if you're joining in two places, request you to mute in one particular place. Yes. Thank you so much, Dhawande sir. So people who are joining us for the first time, I'd request you to click and join our WhatsApp group link that is there in the description. We share more updates in our WhatsApp group as well, right? So about tomorrow's session and all the details as well, right? Okay, great. So today's session, we are going to learn how to print variables and print statements. And tomorrow we'll be learning about conditionals. So we'll go every day half an hour each to learn Python in 7 days. So how many of you are excited? Type E in the chat box. Thanks, Sujit. People who are joining us on LinkedIn, Twitter, you can use the comments or chat section to interact with us live. Great. Thank you, Neil. Great. So we would be, just brushing up our, fundamental concepts of programming as more people would be joining in. Let me share my screen. I am sharing the link to the Python exercise for day 1 here on the chat. You can find the link on the chat section. You can directly click there and be on the same page. Okay. Great. So let me know if you're able to see my screen. Great. So this is the link that is in the description also, and this is the same link that has been shared in the chat. So this is Python for data science, Python made easy for AI day 1. So in today's session, we are going to learn the basic foundational statements of Python. So how many of you are from a non-coding background? If you're from a non-coding background, type N in the chat box. Hi, Kishore sir. And from a non-coding background, type N in the chat box. Okay, Sujit. Yes, Prashant. Great. So we can see that there are a lot of people who are from a non-coding background. We have people joining us on LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. So thanks everyone for joining in. Welcome. If you've missed the first portion, not worry. Pixeltest is a platform, a community for Web3 and AI professionals, people who are upskilling, people who are already switching careers. People we have in our community, people who have already got payments or patents also. So I'd request you to go through all of these 7 days consistently and learn Python each day, little by little. Okay. Thank you. Hi, Himanshu. Great. So the link to the practice session is in the chat. I'm pinning the link on YouTube. You can see that there's a blue bar there in the chat. From there, you can click the link and join us. Great. So let's begin. I'm sharing back my screen. Great. Now, if you see here, this will be a compiler. Here we are going to use this console to write the programs, and here you will get the result. If you are joining from a mobile phone, if you are trying to open this link on mobile phone, the interface of this on mobile phone will be like this. So you see this in mobile, type here under script.py section, and your result will be shown here. Okay, like let me say print 3 plus 7. If I'm going to run this here, the result will be in this shell. Okay, so typing will be here and result will be here. People who are specifically joining us on mobile phone. If you have a desktop or a laptop, I request you to switch to a desktop while you are watching us on mobile itself, and that will be a better way to access the whole course content. Okay, great. So let's begin. So how many of you are from a non-coding background? Let me see more answers. Yes, Sajal, all of these 7 days is going to be free. On our 7th day, we would be going through our masterclass where Latika ma'am shares more details about the course as well. But these 7 days is absolutely free. Some of you might have already joined the session that happened this Sunday. So here, the intent of the 7-day session is to make you clear that Python is something easy and you can definitely become better at it, right, and learn from it. Yes, Himanshu sir, thank you so much for letting us know if you're from non-coding background. In our community, we have many people who are from a non-coding background, and I'm sure that you can also learn from the basics strongly. Okay, great. Let me share my screen again. So I've just now shown you, I've showed you how to just use your mobile device. Now let's switch back to our desktop. Now you can see that here I'd be typing the statements here and the result will come here. Okay, now whole mode for all of our 7 days would be learning by exercise. So we are going to first learn from the exercise. The exercise will be below. You can copy it and paste it here. So the first statement that we are running here is hello world. Okay, so this is the first line any programmer runs, the first line of every programmer. So you can go here and click on copy this and paste it here. So when you click on run, you'll be able to get a result. So I'm going to run it here. So you can see that you are able to print hello world, right? So your program said hello world for the first time, right? So what is there in this print statement? Now, if you see, print is a keyword that is predefined in Python libraries. Now, this is going to put everything that is there within these brackets. So print statement, and then there is brackets. So whenever there is brackets and a statement before a word before that, this is a function, and the function does some operation, some action, right? And this function prints strings, meaning anything that is between these double quotes, right? So you write these double quotes, right? Quotation marks. Anything you write in here will be printed directly on the console. You can say here, we have other statements also. Let's say learning Python is easy, right? You can type it here and run it. Now it printed learning Python is easy. Now you can say, you can write your name. I am Satyasachi, and you can run it. It will give your name also. It can even take longer. You can call it such. If I run it, you can see that it printed that as well, right? So this is how we use print statement. It's very useful as we go forward. So I would want to ask, so if you are able to, if you are able to run this along with me, type R in the chat box, right? So how many of you are able to run this along with me? Yes, Rocket 112 should not be a problem. Great. So Sajal, this is the foundation for the data science in AI. We cannot learn whole of the AI in 7 days. This 7 days will give you a foundation for the AI journey that you want to start. Will this be video saved on YouTube? Because there is another session of Pixeltest at 8, which I feel you have to attend, Rocket 112. If you're already, that means you're already a member. So if you're already a member, you have to attend the inner circle session as well, right? So this link will still be there if you're joining us on WhatsApp. So that should not be a problem. You'll have a Zoom link for the inner circle session. So I request you to go ahead and join. That should not be a problem. Yeah, so for Python, yes, Sajal, this is enough for you to understand all the foundationals of Python. Yes. Great. So we'll keep all of our sessions within the time frame of 30 minutes only. So today I'll ask you to focus on today's smaller exercise, because this today's day one, we are going to just cover the fundamentals of it. Right. Great. Okay, so now if you see, we have printed our first few statements. So now whatever we have in these double quotes is called a string. Now, this is a string. Whatever is between these double quotes. String. So whenever you put anything between double quotes, it becomes a string. Okay, so what are a few properties of string? We'll learn about that. So now if you see, there is another small code snippet here. I'm going to use it. Now you can see that here this statement says print I will, there is one quotation, one double quotes starting and ending. Then there is a plus symbol. So now plus symbol here is an operator. And then there is a set Python, double quotes. So what this will do is it will print I will a set Python. So it will combine both statements, right? So now you can see that it printed I will a set Python. So you can do a lot of things like that. So these are about strings. We'll learn more about strings. And let me introduce you to a few errors. So what happens is when you do not have a double quote, matching double quote towards the end, and when you run it, what happens is you run into an error, right? So it is telling you that, here there is a double quote missing, right? So you need to this is your friend. All errors help you understand where the problem is. So I request you to become familiar with these errors. So it says end of line while scanning string literal, which means there is no double quote here, right? So you have to have a double quote so that it runs properly. Now this is a string, right? So this is one common error that people happen, especially if you're doing it for the first time. The mismatched codes gives you an error. Okay, then we'll learn about variables. Okay, so how many of you understood how to print statements? So if you've understood how to print statements, type U in the chat box. If you understood it, type U in the chat box. Okay, so Innova, if it is looking blur, so what you can do is in your settings, YouTube settings, you can click there and it will show you, the quality. In that quality, type 720 or higher if it is possible. Yes, Tripura. If you have missed any portion of it, because we would want to keep this in 30 minutes only, I request you to rewind this particular video and watch it again, right? So this will become helpful. Yes, yes, I'm from the team. Great. So let's begin. Now, what we are doing here is, if you come back here, I am going to print some numbers here. So if I'm going to print 999 and I'm going to run it, it printed 999. Okay, but here I did not give double quotes. Okay, I'm going to say 999 into 10, and when I run it, it printed 9990. So it did arithmetic, and I'm going to say into 3, it is going to still give me the number. It's like your own small calculator. I'm going to say plus 1 plus 1. So it will just say 3 plus, it will do all the multiplication operations first and then add it. You can see that it added the 1 also. So you can do these arithmetic operations also in the print statement, but there is a better way. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove all of this from here, and I'm going to say create something called a variable. So a variable is nothing but a word like this. I'm saying result, and I'm going to say equal to sign, and I'm there going to give this whatever arithmetic I did, and I'm going to copy this result and paste it here. Right? So if I'm going to run it, it will still give me the result. Right? So instead of directly putting it here, I added it here. So now instead of 1, I'm going to, let's just say, let's say I'm going to add 1 more. Okay, I'm going to run it. Now you can see that it added 1 more. Okay, so I have created something called a variable. I did the arithmetic there by giving the equal to sign and printed and used the print statement to give this result. So variables, this is called a variable, and variable can change. So it can vary. So it can always keep increasing or changing. So that is why it is called a variable. So now here, that is why here the result keeps varying. Okay, so whenever you make a change, that change gets reflected, right? So this is called a variable, and whatever arithmetic is there, you can print by using the variable name here. Okay, so how many of you understood what is a variable, right? If you understood variable, type U in the chat box. Thank you, Sujit. Thank you, Vishnu. Thank you, Lakshman. That's great. Amazing. So basically, now we have covered, this is for day 1. People who have joined late, here is a link for the exercise. You can go through the exercise by watching it, watching the video parallel to the exercise, right? So this is for day 1. We are covering, going to keep it very simple and easy to understand. So slowly tomorrow we'll cover a little more topics also, right? So I hope to see you tomorrow as well. And I request you to, come with the same sincerity that you came in today and learn more Python tomorrow. Thank you so much, everyone. Looking forward to see you tomorrow.